Ihr Freund da, nimmt die besser runter.
Was zum Teufel ist das hier?
Das ist Kong. Er ist hier der König. Kong ist ein ganz guter König. Er bleibt meist für sich. Aber man betritt nicht einfach ein fremdes Haus und wirft mit Bomben, außer man will Streit.
I think the first one I saw was the one with Jessica Lange. Well, what year was that? In the late 70s, right? Yeah, so that was the first time I saw it. And then I think I saw the older one later. But I remember that hand. That's why I'm so glad that we have a shot like that in the movie. Of course, it's a much different context than the previous versions of it. But I loved seeing Brie in Kong's hand.
Das ist Kong. Er ist Gott auf der Insel.
Wir gehören nicht hierher.
Aber die Teufel leben unter uns. Ich nenne sie Schädelkriecher.
Wieso?
Weil's toll klingt.
Okay.
Den Namen habe ich eben erfunden. Ich will ihnen Angst einjagen.
Von mir aus nennen wir die so. Ist das für
Ja,
Sie
das
auch
erscheint
okay?
mir ein-
Ich
wie
finde
ein
den
guter
Namen gut.
Well, I was happy to get a job offer. That's number one. The character is a really interesting character. It wasn't just, you know, do you want to be in a Kong movie? It was this World War II era guy who, I really relate to the World War II era for some reason. The music of that era and the slang and the fact that the guy was from Chicago, was a Cubs fan, and all that really made it a really rich character for me. And the fact that he's someone who's been basically alone for 30 years. He had one friend who died, and then he's been living with these tribes people who don't speak to him. You know, as a result, it makes for a really eccentric character as someone who's just sort of lost in time, literally. So it's one of those great characters in a movie which I've played before, where you're kind of the court jester in a way. You know, you're the person who's always out of sync with everyone else in the movie because of your circumstances or your point of view. So Marlowe just had one great comment after another because he's living in a different reality than everyone else in the film. Not exactly. I mean, I think you could draw parallels, of course. You know, like, Marlowe, The Heart of Darkness, all of that is referenced even in my character's name. But as I love Dennis Hopper, I love Apocalypse Now. To me, the movie's more of a mashup between Apocalypse Now and like a Ray Harryhausen film, like Sinbad or Jason and the Argonauts, something like that. But yeah, there's parallels, definitely. There's also parallels, though, with a character like Newt in Aliens. The one surviving person who tells you this is what the world is like here. You're in danger. These are the places you should avoid. Of course, they don't take my advice through most of the story. But yeah, it's an honor to be compared to Dennis Hopper for sure. He's pretty monstrous when he gets mean. Yeah, I don't know. What kind of monster would he be like? You have to ask him what's in his heart. I don't think I am a monster. I think I have a tough exterior, but I'm pretty romantic on the inside.